Hey everyone, welcome back. We've got the Off-Road Ontario Cross Country Series Round 3 at Cochranes MX. Uh, this was a great little race. It doesn't happen every season. I think it happens every 2 or 3 years. It's been a few years since we've had it. I think 2019. Oh, we're off. And we have a couple turns and we're on a grass track here. Oh, there goes Andre, just about spun out. So I'm in the front of the group right now, starting off. Possibly I'm thinking some people may be held back because when we were at the starting line, we saw some of the earlier rows have collisions or incidents at the first turn. Being grass, it can be quite slippery. So this property has an MX track on it. I think it's a private track. And it hasn't been used in a while, so we're actually on it right now. A bit of grass has grown over on it. Hasn't been used in a bit. And so we've got a bit of distance before we get into the woods, so that's good to separate everyone out for a bit. And here we go. So it's been a while since we raced here, and I can't remember what the trails all were like. So some of this could actually be newer trails that they've cut, and it was great. It wasn't too rough to start off with, but by the time we got to our sixth lap, yeah, things got a bit bumpy and carved out, but still overall really good. The camera obviously doesn't show it, but it was actually quite bumpy through here. Um, Not too slick. Traction was really good. And this video I'm going through is going to show some of the type of terrain that we rode through. So hopefully you find my voiceover a lot more chirpier this time. When I did the RJ's cross country voiceover, little did I know that I was at the beginning of catching COVID and being out for a week or two. Uh, at, at this stage, when I rode here, I'd actually just recovered from it, and so I was pretty pleased with my performance overall, considering I'd been out for about 2 weeks. So the laps were supposed to be around 9 kilometers long, and they're full of this kind of windy, flowing single track, which was fantastic actually. It got tight in a few places. They gave us a warning at the riders' meeting that it could be tricky to pass people or to get past, so just to be careful. And for the most part, that's what we found, and everyone did really well in moving over, letting people pass, and also the people passing did well to give a warning before they passed. Except I had an incident, which we've got some video of. A gentleman that decided he wanted to barge through. I wasn't too pleased, as you'll see, but that'll come up a bit later. So some open areas like this, and then back looping around back into some woods. So it was nice and fast flowing. So this section coming up through here had a few bumps and roots between the trees, and just like that, I nearly lost it a few times in the subsequent laps. Had to turn it down a wee bit just so I wouldn't have an accident. And here we are catching up with a group of riders. So this is where you've got to be patient and figure out a good place to pass safely for both you and the person you're passing. And generally, as you go and you ride a couple laps, you kind of memorize the good places that you can pass. So you should be patient about that. So generally with the passing, there's a bit of an etiquette that seems to happen as you approach another rider and you are traveling faster than them and want them to know that you are looking to pass. Usually there's a couple blips on the throttle. The two strokes are sometimes easier to hear for me on my bike. I have a air intake right at the front there, so that can be deafening. It's not my pipe. My pipe's 94 decibels. It's within the requirements. So yeah, you usually give a blip or two, and hopefully the rider in front of you hears that and is able to find a place to pull over a wee bit, just like here, and you can try to get past them safely. And likewise, if you are riding and you hear a rider come up behind you, you hear them blip the throttle. They're obviously coming in at a faster rate. Try to find a place to safely pull over. You don't need to come to a complete stop. I've learnt that, and it's safer not to often for yourself. Just to pull over and let them pass. Oh, and there's a bump. Now, that bump there caused a lot of hassles for me. Here's another lap later on with the same bump on this turn. And I don't know what it was, a rock or something, but it just kept diverting me. I dropped my bike here, and you'll see someone passes me. I lost the position, picked the bike up, carry on, and here I am in another lap with two guys behind me, and what happens, I totally lost it again, dropped the bike. And that cost me another two places. I'm thankful for Bryden here stopping to help pick up my bike and see if I was okay. Thank you very much, mate. That was superb of you. The terrain here wasn't anything extreme. There was some nice down and uphill sections along the embankment, which were a lot of fun. I totally enjoyed this part. It was a nice climb and a few bumps and ruts to get through as the day went on, and yeah, it was really great on the good old four-stroke here. So this was at a later stage in the race, which I remembered the section which opened up, so I was able to pass this rider here before we got back into the woods section. Yeah, if you couldn't guess it, I wasn't too impressed there. I got a bit of a blip warning, and then this guy just charges through and hits the side of my bike. So I was not happy about that and made it quite well known. Yeah, Buddy didn't even give me a chance to pull over and let him pass in a safe manner. So I heard a bike coming by, and it turned out to be my buddy Dave. There he goes. He was moving. He was actually lapping me there. He's riding a new gas four-stroke in this race. So we're coming up to later stages in the race, I hear a bike approaching me fast, so I pull over to the left of the trail and let the rider go by. I think he clips that tree right there.
Okay.
Hey, and look who's that in front of me. That's the guy that bumped into me a lap earlier. I'm only guessing that Karma got him and he must have crashed in that corner as well. Karma's a bitch. So towards the end of the lap, we come up to a makeshift bridge, which was a bit dodgy, but wasn't too bad. It was dry for the most part, and at the end there was a bit of a mud patch. Out of the woods onto some grass before we get to something that's very unique to this race. And there it is. It's the barn. So this year they had a different line for us to come in. It was through here and a left turn to slow us down through the barn. I've seen footage before of other riders going down there on the cement floor, so I guess that's the reason for that. So one last section through the woods before we get to scoring, and that was the end of a lap. There's my buddy Paul cheering me on. Thank you, Paul. This event was really good. I'd like to thank the organisers for the really well marked out course and having a lot of people around directing us through some of the more tricky areas. Thank you. And look forward to riding this again next time we have the opportunity. Until next time, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.